Good morning, it is New Year's Eve 2022. So I thought we'd do an end of year garden tour today. It's very wet, not very nice weather at all today. So we'll start over here. So this is my camellia. It is a white camellia that I can't remember the name of. And last year we didn't get any flowers at all, but as you can see there's lots and lots and lots of lovely buds coming. So looking forward to that popping out soon. The cherry tree had a massive haircut. Just to bring it back down, I like to keep it in line with the top of the fence. But there's quite a few buds coming up on it, so that'll grow back this year. This is our fir tree, Korean fir. It's the first year we've had cones on it this year, and they were a lovely like blue purple colour. So I'm just trying with the strings to try and straighten it back up a little bit because it's gone off, veered off to the right. But it appears to be coming back on itself now, which that should be really nice next year. There's not really much going on in here because we've got bulbs that'll come up in the spring. These twiggy looking things at the back are crabapple hedging plants that were just spare that I planted last year, but looking at them they probably need to come out. There's a red robin that's doing really well. This one at the front here is an Acer that's lost all its leaves, doing really well. I think it's 3 years old now. It was bought from Morrison's for about £3 and it was tiny. And it's really shot up in the ground. Got some more of the hedging plants that again I think are going to need to come out this year. This one is an Escallonia, a white Escallonia I think. It's doing really well but needs a bit of a trim because it's going everywhere. We've got another Acer here. More of the hedging plants here. Another red robin. Another Acer here. And this one is an Ajuga Burgundy Glow. It's doing really well. It started off as a tiny, in a tiny 9cm pot, and then it's just expanded. So we're going to try and take some cuttings on that this year to fill all of the spare space on the border, just to stop the weeds coming up over the next 12 months. And I think this one's a sea lavender, sea limonium, something like that, which never flowers. It just comes up with some green leaves. So I might swap that out for something else, but pretty soon we'll have bulbs coming through. So you can see here there is already some bulbs popping through here, and we have quite a lot of daffodils, and there's some hyacinths in this back border which will be lovely. And then up at this end everything's looking a little bit sad. So the blueberries in the pots have died back, but they're doing all right in these two pots here. The ones in the bed are all doing really well, still looking pretty good. And the one in the pot behind, that's a pink blueberry at behind. I've got flamingo willows in these two small pots at the front. And then there's a gooseberry that I don't know if that's going to do any well next year. A blackberry, a raspberry, a goji berry here, buddleia here. That in the pot, looking quite sad, is an agapanthus that I need to pull back out. It was new last year. In the pots there are bulbs, a variety of bulbs. We've got tulips, muscari, there's some other bits and pieces that I'm looking forward to coming up. And actually this pot looks like it's doing really well. If you look, there's loads of bulbs and things coming through here, so this one's probably going to do really, really well. There's a handful in here coming up. This is all bulbs and I'm not sure what they are, so let's see what happens with those. I don't think there's any coming up in this pot just yet. No, we'll just wait and see on those. This is the raspberry bed, so I cut it all back. So there's some shoots that have started to come back through, like this one here. There's some little ones here. There's some hiding underneath the bark. And then this one is an autumn bliss raspberry came from Morrison's 2 years ago, and it's just gone absolutely wild. There's so many little offshoots coming on it all over. So I'm going to dig that up and try and split that up this year, I think, and try and get it from being so overcrowded. And put some in pots down the bottom of the garden. In this little bed we have self-seeded sweet peas that I've tied up against the thing, and even with all the frost they look like they're doing all right at the moment. do time some more bits up, but we'll just leave them and see how they get on over the winter. Nothing else going on in there. There was carrots, but they all got pulled up. We've got in here, oh, that's looking a bit sad, isn't it? I didn't realise that was so wet. So this was my herb bed, but it looks like it's now a drowned herb bed, so I best get that sorted in a bit. Salad leaves, the chard still looks alright. In fact, all of it looks alright really, so I'm going to start clearing some of that out and using some of that. And then the hydrangea's lost its leaves. I need to do some weeding. The little cabbage I never got around to planting. I didn't plant any of them actually. They're all looking a little bit sad. Can't think what this one is now. It is an azalea. I'm not really sure how well that one did. I think that one and the other one, a few little bit around the other end of the bed, died, but I left it in just in case it comes back. Another cabbage, another azalea that's doing much better, even with all the weeds around it. And we've got another azalea that I think has died, another cabbage, and the other hydrangea that I'm going to cut back to match the other one this year. And then this is our onion, garlic and shallots bed. So we've had something digging, one of the local cats has been digging in here and going to the toilet in here, so I've had to keep cleaning it out. We've lost a few due to that, but they all look like they're doing alright. And this is the shallots, and they look like they're doing really well with all the shoots. So I'm pleased with that. It's the first year growing those. And then this bed, we've got the strawberries that they were starting to flower again in November. And then the frost came and killed them all off. Need to do some tidying up in here as well. We have a collection of Hebes. This one's looking really sad. So I'm hoping it just comes back next year. But the Caledonia, and I think, which one's that one? This one I think is the Marilyn Monroe, this one. So, is it? No. Frozen Flame, that one must be the Marilyn Monroe. Lavender's doing alright. This is the remnants of the rhubarb. It's died back, finally. And we've got another rhubarb in this border at the back here somewhere, which died off really early, so hopefully that comes back. And then in the greenhouse, I still haven't done much out here. I need to try and seed it a little bit because I'm getting wet puddles on the floor, which is fine, but I'd much rather not have wet puddles all over the floor. So, back in late October, early November, I planted a load of seeds of rhubarb, and then I potted all of these ones up that are in here. And some of them are looking alright with all the frost that we had. Some of them, like this one here, are looking really sad. This is a cutting that somebody gave me that I've planted, and it seems to be rooted in well, so let's see how that goes. These little pots my daughter wanted to plant, and then she dropped them on the floor, so I don't think they've actually done anything, but she had fun for half an hour with those. And then in these behind it, as you can see, it's more rhubarb, but quite a lot isn't doing very well at all. But I'm going to leave it and just see how it gets on. This is mint. A friend of mine wanted some mint, so I said I'd grow some, and I want some more for my garden. And I know you shouldn't plant mint all in your garden because you never get rid of it, but I quite like it, so I don't mind that. And that was a whole packet of mint put into there that needs a bit of water later. And the rest of this was coleus that I was trying to germinate for houseplants, but it's all died off. You can't see anything in there now, so I will use this compost for something else pretty soon. But this greenhouse needs a big sort out. I've got 3 cold frames in these big wooden boxes to build. I took some cuttings of my blueberries and my raspberries just as a trial, just to see if I could get them to grow. This one here looks like it's doing something, but the raspberries all look a bit sad and twig-like, so I don't think they've worked, but I was cutting them back anyway, so it made sense to have a go with, seeing if I could get some more plants. A few more cuttings there, and then I've just got loads of pots and supplies and things ready for the new season. And then this is the back section of the garden. As you can see, there's not much going on here still. I still haven't tidied it up because the weather's not been very nice, and I struggle with my back sometimes. But the fruit trees are all doing okay. I've got to get rid of one because it got frozen and then waterlogged, much like the herb beds that I need to go sort out. So we shall see. But this big tree here is an apple tree, and that is putting on new growth already, and the other ones seem to be doing okay. So I've got to put them up on their blocks and clean up the outside of the pot soon. But we'll see how they go. Hopefully they've all survived. And the fig is in this little black. I've got a fig in this little black one, a little Miss Figgy, and I'm hoping that survived as well. That should be quite nice if I can get all those to regrow this year. Maybe get some fruit this year, because they will be 2 or 3 years old this year. I think they were sent to me as 2 years, and I've had them 2 years now, I think. So they should be putting out some fruit soon, hopefully. And then this is just the look of the garden from this end. I'm hoping in this back border to put some fruit trees. Actually, I'm going to get some of the column fruit trees to put in at the front, maybe. Just to add some more interest. I might move my aces around a little bit as well. What I want to eventually do is build up this border so that you can't really see the fence and it grows up and creates some privacy, because it's very, very open. But there was nothing really in this garden when we moved in, so I'm just still attempting to get things grown up so that we do get a bit more privacy. And I might change this where the arch is this year. I might have another bed put in, like the garlic bed maybe. But it's a nice space and I enjoy coming out here and spending time in my garden. It just needs a good tidy up because over the winter I've not really had any time. This little greenhouse is also moving to the bottom of the garden soon, and it's going to be put up on some bricks to stop it from sitting in water on the floor, because it's going to rot otherwise. I've had that nearly 3 years now, and I use it every year to start my seeds and things in, which will be really useful. So I'm really looking forward to everything starting to grow and putting some more bits and pieces into the garden. And just as a final shot, this is what I had for Christmas from my husband. So I need to find somewhere to put those as well. But they're so heavy, I've got to decide where I'm putting them, and then he's going to lift them outside for me. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint them either. So they've got to go outside. And then I've got my waterfall, which is also waiting to go out. Thank you for watching. See you soon.